So algae is a single cell. It's actually a very complex single cell, much more complex than anything we got in the human body, because it can swim, it can absorb light, it can reproduce. So there's all that going on in a single cell. And what the algae does is it fixes the nitrates, and it takes the sunlight and it photosynthesizes, and it creates very high levels of protein or lipids or whatever it is. It divides, and under the right conditions, it goes into this what's called an exponential growth phase. So what you can see there on the screen is a bloom, right? And when you look at it in the sea, you won't necessarily see the algae is there, but it's always there in some sort of dormant phase. But at a certain time of year, there's an upwelling from the sea where lots of cold, nutrient-rich water comes to the surface. And it's the time for the algae. It triggers the algae into this exponential growth state. And you can go from 20 kilograms to 10 million tons of food in 30 days. It's the most extraordinary thing. And it fixes huge amounts of carbon. So for every ton of food we make, we absorb 3.2 tons of carbon, right? So the algae absorb carbon, convert sunlight and carbon into food, and then die off again, go back into this dormant state and wait for the next moment. And this is happening in the seas all the time. So different algae bloom at different times, absorbing vast quantities of carbon and producing vast quantities of food. It's an extraordinary little cell.